We're going to lead off this hour talking soccer because this Utah State soccer team absolutely deserves some attention for what they're doing. Big win over the weekend at BYU. We've also got more we want to talk about with Utah State and Boise State. Big football showdown coming up on Saturday. The week 2 of the NFL is finally in the books. Primetime game last night wasn't quite as epic as almost every other primetime game has been for the NFL, but first half was still very exciting. So we'll recap the weekend.
You're one of those guys. First half was really exciting.
Well, if you're a Packers fan, it was a great game. Not that there's too many Lions fans around here, so
there's
no worry about that.
There's no Lion fans anyway.
All
right, time to move on from NFL football for just a little bit. Eric, from NFL
football to football.
Judas Priest. What's going on today?
Is that where we're going?
Look, as good as USU football has been, USU women's soccer is kind of flying underneath the radar, and they shouldn't be, and that's not good. 7-1-1. It's their best start in school history. Had a heartbreaking loss to Utah, but then turn around and upset the BYU Cougars. Joining us on the telephone here on the Full Court Press is Coach Martins, the head coach of the USU women's soccer team. Coach, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
I am well. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you. Coach, I do got to ask, from one heartbreaking loss to a rival down south to a thrilling win to a rival further down south, what was the emotions like? Just kind of, was it like a roller coaster for you, or how was that, and how did the players handle it?
We try to not get too caught up on emotional roller coasters. We try to keep it as balanced as possible. But there's a little bit of it, right? I mean, in-state matches, two great opponents. I mean, to be fair, every opponent's been very good, but, there's a little bit more natural motivation when playing teams from our home state. Really proud of how the team bounced back and was able to perform again within 48 hours from a disappointment result.
Coach, this is your first year here at Utah State. You're taking over for Heather Cairns, who was here for a long time. She had certain measures of success that she was able to enjoy here. What's that process been like for you, just kind of taking over and making this your team, but also trying to continue on some of the good things that were happening before?
Well, continuing on is, I inherited a fantastic group of individuals with qualities that obviously has allowed us to have the success we're having. As far as making it my own, the biggest thing we wanted to implement was just a real clear identity, and I think we've made tremendous progress with that. I think we've been really consistent through the first 9 games in terms of how we play, how we come in with a mindset of being on the front foot and never quitting, and now we're layering in some other components of quality and what we do when we have the ball, and we're having a lot of fun doing it.
Kenzie Knowles was named the America First Credit Union USU Student Athlete of the Week in a list that was very, very good. A lot of very viable candidates. She had the game winner for you guys against BYU. What have you seen out of her, and what has she brought to the team?
Gosh, Kenzie's a kid that plays with a tremendous amount of energy. We call her slippery because of her ability to navigate pressure without losing the ball. And the moment where she scored that goal was the perfect example of that, how she was facing, who's known to be BYU's best player, and she was able to unbalance her and create space for herself to finish and, get that game-winning goal. So she brings a lot of great energy and quality to the team, absolutely.
Well, not only did she get the USU recognition, she got Mountain West recognition, recognizes the Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Week, but she wasn't the only one getting Mountain West recognition. You guys swept the awards. Ashley Cardozo, the offensive player of the week, Garrett Walton, the defensive player of the week. First, let's focus on Ashley. This isn't the first time that she's been recognized for work that she's been doing for you. Talk a little bit about what she's been doing so far this season and what she means to your team overall.
Well, as much as Ashley's done fantastically well on the field, I mean, she scored some special goals and had some great assists. And, I mean, she's definitely a player that I would consider has some elements of being special. What she's done the most to me is the spirit that she brings to the team, what she's doing off the field, the leadership, the enthusiasm, how she models all of that for her teammates. I wish we could have her for another 3 or 4 years.
Coach Martins, you now get into conference play here coming up, starting with Nevada, then UNLV, and New Mexico, San Diego State, all on the road there after the home opener versus Nevada. What are you seeing in conference play? What do you guys need to do to be able to hopefully get yourself a conference championship?
Well, I think the key is, one, taking it one game at a time. We cannot look ahead. We cannot look at teams' records and try to make anything of that. And continuing what we've done to this point over the first 9 games, one thing we've done is we focused very, very little on the opposition and put all the effort and energy into ourselves. And I think we've grown over these games, and we've learned a lot. Going into conferences, how do we become more consistent in playing within our identity and minimize the moments where maybe we're a little bit flat or our rhythm is off?
How do you, as a coach, like to handle the type of teams you want to face before you get into conference play, and how much control do you have over that?
Well, to be fair, I didn't have any control on the schedule we've just played, but it was a really good schedule. It showed us a variety of opponents. We played a few teams with NCAA tournament experience and success, and some teams that are maybe in the same position as us, trying to find a way to get there. So it gave us a lot of different looks, and I feel like through this non-conference, we saw just about everything that we needed to see to prepare us for conference and feel like we're not going to have any surprises.
And you open conference play this Friday. You've got Nevada coming to town. What can you tell us about them and the type of challenges that they may pose for you?
Well, I mean, the biggest challenge of a team that from the outside looking in might look like they're facing some challenges is they may do some things that we haven't seen them do yet because they're still trying to find their way. They're definitely a team that's going to be hungry. And I've told our players is at this point, the success that we've experienced, we have eliminated any element of surprise. No one's going to overlook it. I think teams are going to prepare for us and they're going to give us our best. And I think that's going to start with Nevada. So the thing is, teams that are doing well, they usually are pretty established in what they do, and you can sort of anticipate a little bit. And teams that are trying to find their rhythm, they are more likely to throw a curveball at you.
Coach, the success you're having right now is nothing new for you, whether it was coaching at your alma mater in high school or the Los Angeles Mission College, UCLA, Oregon, now at Utah State. You've seen success wherever you go. What is different about this success, besides being a head coach? What is different about this success with this team prior to the years before with other universities?
Well, there's definitely something unique about this group. And maybe it's just my perspective because I'm in a different role. But the buy-in that I've witnessed, and to be fair, it's not even a buy-in; it's the ownership that the group has taken of our identity and how we want to be on and off the field is making it not only easier for me to do my job, but a lot of fun. And I didn't anticipate that it was going to be this way. I anticipated that maybe I was going to have to sell and try to really get people to buy into what we needed to do, and that hasn't been the case. So it's been a lot of fun. It's a really, really special group. So in one word, it'd be the human factor. The human element has been really the difference.
Coach, you're getting noticed. Your team's getting noticed for your early success so far. This Pacific Region United Soccer Coaches Poll is out, and it's coaches that are in the Mountain West and WAC and the Pac-12. Your team's now 7th on that list. How as a coach, I've always thought this is interesting. How does a coach balance getting excited and pleased with the recognition and seeing a team ranked among their peers and certainly among some really good programs, but also trying to keep everybody humble and not distracted by the attention?
Well, I think you've just hit the nail on the head there. That my focus when things like this start to happen is just making sure we don't get distracted. Because in essence, the polls, the rankings, they're nice. They're a compliment. It's a little bit of recognition of the work that's been done. But we're just in mid-season, so they don't really mean a lot at this point. The only thing that really matters is how we finish and how we progress between now and then. So without taking the joy away from it, because I think it's nice that our student athletes can get a little bit of that recognition and take a short moment to enjoy it, we don't focus on it, because we're 1 or 2 games or 1 or 2 losses away from not being in it at all, right? Just 2 weeks ago, we were I think 7th in our conference. So those things are going to be, very, it's like the wind. They're going to change every day. But what can change is our resolve, our identity, and the work we're doing. And if we can focus on that, then things will end up where they need to be.
How excited are you to get into conference play?
Oh, I couldn't be more excited. Non-conference has been a lot of fun, but the Mount West is a great conference with a lot of very good teams, with the teams that have different styles and different approaches. So it'll be very, very challenging. The travel in the Mountain West presents its own challenges. So I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think the group's ready for it. I'm super excited.
Manny Martins is the head coach for the USU women's soccer team, and they had that huge 2-1 overtime victory at 18th ranked BYU this past weekend. Off to a great start. They sweep the Mountain West Conference Awards. And I want to get back to that because I want to ask you about De'Ara Walton, your keeper. You guys have had 3 shutout games. Lots of shots on goal that she's not letting go through. Talk about her progression so far this season and how well she's doing in the as your keeper with trying to keep you guys in the game.
Well, again, I'll start with the human factor. De'Ara is an incredible human being, and it makes it easy to work with people like that. But on top of that, incredible athlete. She might have the best hands that I've ever worked with as far as goalkeepers. And then her ceiling is very high. As much as she's done already so well for us, there's still a lot that she's learning and growing. And I'm excited to be part of that process with her because what you see is maybe 60% of her potential. So being able to have her for the next 3 years, and the back line that's in front of her is just as young and just as much potential. I think the future could be really, really bright for her and the team.
I know you kind of answered this already, but how do you keep your kids grounded? 7-1-1, best start in school history. You guys beat BYU. You lose a close one to Utah, but you've done pretty well in just non-conference alone. How do you keep the kids grounded going into conference play, working towards a championship?
Well, if you came into our game review days, you'd probably realize that we focus on performance. So, going down to Provo and winning 2-1 was great, but when we watched film, there was a lot that we could do better. And that's been true for all 9 games that we've played, and that's what we focus on. We don't talk about wins and losses. We enjoy them, We enjoy them for, we have sort of a 9 a.m. rule. We enjoy them until the next day in the morning when we do film review. Then they're a thing of the past. We don't think about them. We don't talk about them. We focus on the next one. And it's always about performance. How do we get better? What could we have done better? And how do we focus our training environment to fix those things? I think that helps them stay grounded, because I'm a stickler for performance and quality.
Coach, with soccer, I mean, there's the kind of the one-on-one element that it's a factor in how the game is played, but there's also the team concept, and you have certain sets that you may want to try to do. Where do you feel like your team's strength is? Is it in how they handle things in a one-on-one situation, or how they connect with each other, better on playing send it back and play good defense and then squirt somebody through? How would you describe what your team's strengths are right now?
You know what? I think it's a variety. I mean, I think the body of work that's allowed us to be this successful is our organization, our collective effort, our commitment to do what we do tactically together. But you can't overlook the fact that a lot of the final moments or the special moments are individual moments. Like Tenzi's goal was a real, quality individual moment. Ashley Cardozo's had a few of those. You've had Imelda Williams. Different players have had their own individual moments that has helped us get through. But really, the overall success is a byproduct of what we've done collectively, how organized we are, how hard we work, and how we're collectively doing the same job.
Well, Coach, we wish you the very best as you get into conference play again. That is I believe, this week, yeah.
Friday,
4 o'clock at the here at USU, where they'll take on Nevada, and then 3 straight road games. Coach, congratulations on your success thus far. Hope to see it continue as you guys get into conference play. Best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, and anyone out there listening, come out and support us. We need all the help we can get with our fans.
Absolutely. Aggie Nation, get behind this team. They're doing a lot of great things. Again, kind of flying under the radar just a tad bit because of USU football, but again, can't ignore 7-1-1.
Huge win over the weekend. Off to a great start. Yep.
Hey, thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Coach.
you.
Thank you.